This is the APUSH thematic review on women's history. Please remember that you need to take detailed notes in order to receive full credit, and it must be handwritten in your own handwriting. We'll start with colonial America, and notice the background. It's lovely, it's pink, it's orange, all girly for the women's rights movement. The legal status of women in the colonies was pretty much that they didn't have any rights. They would lose their property when they got married. They weren't really a separate legal entity from their husband. And they couldn't hold political office, they couldn't vote, they couldn't serve on a jury, and they couldn't serve as a clergy. The only right they did have is that as Christians, they did believe that women had the equal right to go to heaven, but they were not equal in the church and on earth. Notably, a notable female of the time was Anne Hutchinson, who was kicked out of the Massachusetts Bay Colony and went to settle with Roger Williams in Rhode Island, where all the rebels went, because she questioned their idea of salvation and taught women's Bible studies. Basically, she thought that you got salvation through grace, not through good deeds, and spoke out against the leaders of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. The Chesapeake colonies are a little different. Remember, the Chesapeake colonies are Virginia and South, and those colonies were founded more for religious, not for religious tolerance, but for actual economic purposes. So you had more men, less families settling there. And then it's a little more tropical, so you have more disease that's happening there. It's a tougher life. So you had a high mortality rate and then a shortage of women to begin with. Therefore, the women that they did have in the area had more rights, but a tougher life. So you had trade-offs there. But women had more rights, like they could retain property when they got married, because the likelihood that the man was probably going to die was pretty high, and so it just created less paperwork when that happened.